stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity, with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
What's up y'all, Lee here and welcome back to another Outer Worlds video. So to recap on everything, we are currently inside the geothermal power plant. Yesterday we had talked to Adelaide and the deserters, and I asked for y'all's opinion on who should get the power. The results are in favor of Edgewater, which is pretty cool since I've only ever given power to the deserters, so we'll be able to see that little side of the story unfold together. However, before we all begin, I'd like to announce that I have created a schedule. Mondays and Fridays will be the Outer Worlds, while Wednesdays will be Horizon Zero Dawn, and I just want to go ahead and add on to that with saying that I do believe we have a little channel starting here. And lastly, I do want to go ahead and thank those of you who have been commenting on my videos as of lately. It is really reassuring to see all these comments, even if it is just one or two people being able to read that I'm doing something right, or that they want to see more of this, or that I should be doing more of this, is just awesome. It is really reassuring, and it really pushes me to do better and to upload more and to try and get everything right so I can keep everybody entertained. Though with all that being said, I don't really want to take up too much time with this intro here, and I do believe that I have spoken about everything that I do want to speak about, and with all this being said, like, comment, subscribe, and we're going to go ahead and jump into the video. Oh, so from what it looks like here, it appears that we have somebody that's hidden down here in one of the main rooms of the power station. I'm rather interested in who it might be, so let's go ahead and check it out.
You're not real! You're not real! Get away from me, Phantom! Shoot! Scram! You can talk? The Phantoms never talked before. I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting. Clearly, I mistook you for one of the phantoms of my imagination, which terrorized me on occasion. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder. Hard to say. By my reckoning, Higgins has been here somewhere between 2 weeks and forever. My recollection's a touch fuzzy these days. Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us, with prodding irons. You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead. Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you.
Well, it looks like we found a way to stop all of these robots from attacking us, so let's go ahead and find this terminal and put an end to all this. With the final switch being flipped, we are now ready to divert power between the Biotechnical Lab and Edgewater. So let us make our way towards the operating room, and we will figure out what choice we shall make and who shall get the power. So here we are in the main operating room of the power plant, and it looks like we have a pipe for both the Biotechnical Lab and for Edgewater. So now before I go ahead and make the final decision, I again want to just go ahead and thank everybody who commented on the last couple of videos, and everybody who gave their choice in who should get the power. And as I said in the beginning of this video, it looked like Edgewater was going to be the option, and that indeed is what we are going to be doing today. The power will be diverted back to Edgewater, and we will have to go and speak to the deserters about coming back to Edgewater and abandoning the Biotechnical Lab now that they have no power. So let's go ahead and head to this computer, and let's go ahead and make that choice and see the outcome of it.
I think you did the rightest thing you could sending the power back to Edgewater. A lot of people would have suffered otherwise. People I care for, even if they ain't care much for me.
So we've cleared the geothermal power plant, rerouted the power, and hopefully have made a good decision in what we've done. We are now on our way to speak with the deserters, and while we are traveling, I do want to make a quick announcement. I made this YouTube channel to kind of speak and have something to do in my free time. And I feel like I haven't done enough speaking or really anything that could be matched up to that. So I've been thinking about starting a little side thing where I play the Outer Worlds and Horizon Zero Dawn, and instead of focusing on the main quest, I focus more on the side quest and have a little bit longer videos of me traveling and doing all of the little side objectives while I just talk about my life and what's going on. Surprise, surprise, working at Walmart has got me a few stories, and by a few, I mean a lot. You'll either come into contact with really nice people or people who are just complete morons, and I feel as if that would make a little bit interesting commentary, if that's the right word for it, while I do these side quests. So if that sounds like a good idea, please let me know in the comments below, and I can see what I can do with that. Because I really do have a lot of things that I could be talking about, but it's just that I don't necessarily think that I have time, or I can do it in a way that's really interesting. Well, with all that being said, we are about to reach the Biotechnical Labs, so let's go ahead and talk to Adelaide and see what she has to say about everything.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it? You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management. You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear. Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients. I have got a means to cure the plague, and I will not share that cure until Reed leaves town. Those are my terms.
Well, it looks like she didn't take too kindly to all this, but let's go ahead and take this power regulator and see what Reed has to say.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts? Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes, but I have done my best for this town. I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home. I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic. You are disparaging our parent company, and it is not appreciated. We are a Spacer's Choice Saltuna cannery. We eat Saltuna here, and only Saltuna. I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing her own food, but that should not be possible. The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own botanists couldn't grow decent crops for us, so the company got rid of them and shut down the greenhouse. You'll excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil? And when you say special fertilizer, you mean what exactly? Adelaide has been using dead bodies in her fertilizer? That's, come to think of it, that's a stroke of brilliance. What a remarkably efficient solution. Recycling Spacer's Choice property long after its date of expiration. I was wondering about those missing bodies in Silas's cemetery. So Adelaide wants me gone. Trade my life for the life of the town. You understand what she's doing. If I leave town, I am as good as dead. If I stay, Edgewater will die of attrition. Adelaide has discovered some secret cure for the plague, and she is holding my town ransom. You're right, I am being obstinate. If the best thing I can do for this town is to stand down, then stand down I shall. If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me. A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them. I do. Adelaide's found a cure for the plague, and she knows how to tend a crop. She's what this town needs. I have always tried to do right by my town. It has never been easy.
Look at that. The snake's come back. I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward. You telling me you did all this just to put me in charge of Edgewater? Stranger, you are some kind of twisted. I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
Well, here we go, folks. One last view of the botanical lab, and we have finished the first main quest of the game. So now that we have about gained access to our ship, I'm going to call this the end of the video while I do some off-screen things and get one of our first saves set up on ship. So with all this being said, please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you again in the next video.